Hi, I'm Sean Smith. This is Sean Smith Photos, where I edit street photography and occasional travel photos with On1 Photo Raw. So today I thought I'd drop back into some street photography. This is a shot that I took. Looks like it's Queen West and Spadina. Yeah. So I like this because there's this rickshaw or bicycle taxi, and I just want to improve the shot, and we're gonna go through that. So let's get to it. Okay. Well, obviously this needs a crop. It's a little bit busy, and the bike is a little bit in the distance. Actually, to get the shot, I had to run down the street a little bit. I was a little bit far when I saw the bike and the traffic light changed and he was started to move. But I do that there's some action here. He's standing up to get started and start pushing. So first thing I'm going to do is hit C to crop. And the first thing I'm going to do is hit C to crop. There we go. And we'll pull this down here, get that pull out of the way. Now, I want to keep the yellow fire hydrant because it matches his shirt and the bike color, and it kind of frames it nicely with this other guy here walking out of frame. So we'll copy that. And let's zoom in a little bit and take a look at how noisy or not this photo is. Looks okay. Let's just go in and take, On1 lens. Let's fit this and check the camera profile again. Landscape. Landscape punches up the yellow a lot. Portrait, vivid, neutral, camera portrait, camera standard. You know what? I'm going to go with On1 landscape this time as our starting point, and then I'm going to jump into noise and sharpening. And I don't think there's any issues with focus, so I'm going to just try the no noise AI and see what that does. That even sharpens up the bike. Really clears that up a lot. Yeah, I like the default settings. Enhanced detail. Yeah, that's not so good. That's all the way. Let's return that to default. Drop it down a bit. No, we'll just keep the default there. Yeah, I'm just gonna hit apply. I'm gonna go with that. Let it do its thing. Hit the fit button, and then go back to tone and color. And so as always, one of the first things I do is I try AI Auto, see what it does. I like that, it brightened it up. Lots of interest there. Back to manual, AI match. And that really darkened it up. I don't like that one as much. So we're gonna go with AI Auto. I wanna make the I also just noticed this guy in the mask here underneath the Love Shop looking directly at the camera. So that's kind of interesting. Let's up the contrast a little bit. I'm going to drop the shadows just a little bit more. Where's our midtones? Midtones are, drop them. Yeah, if I drop the midtones just a little bit more, they're still over 50 or over 0. We can see this, but it puts this more in the shadows so that the bike is more in focus. And let's see what haze does. I can drop the haze. Yeah, I like that. That adds a little bit of definition into the pavement. And yeah, this is pretty good. I'm going to just look at the crop one more time. And maybe I'm going to go with the 16:9. And yeah, I think the 16:9 is going to be better. Still get it nice and tight, but we're losing a lot of this foreground cement, which was not really necessary. All right, so I'm going to go 16:9 on this crop, and let's head over to effects. And we will add, as usual, a dynamic contrast filter. And usually I'm quite happy with just how it works out of the box. Hit the natural. I think natural is what it uses by default. Rarely ever changes when I hit that. All right, so that's pretty good. Let's open up the curves filter, and we'll add in an S curve, a little bit of contrast, deepen the shadows. So we're really pulling the shadows down over here and trying to focus on the bike. So one of the things I noticed is that the bike is half in the shadows and half in the light, which is kind of good. You know, it's bisecting it. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to heavily add in a vignette to darken this, and then probably add a tone enhancer just over the bicycle to draw the eye and make that more of the focus. So let's first add in our vignette and go with the big softy as usual, and we'll turn that on and off. And oh, I've never looked at this type below. Subtle, normal, soft, and priority. Yeah, we don't want normal. That's way too strong. Subtle, soft, priority. Actually, I'll go with subtle. And let's pull back on the size a little bit. We'll reset that. I believe there's a way to move the focus of this. Actually, okay. You know what? I'm just going to go keep that where that is. And yes, it's morning and I'm drinking my coffee. Let's open up the black and white filter. No, we're going to keep this color. We're going to keep this color because of the yellows. I'll probably make a black and white version to check it out, but let's stay with color and go with our tone enhancer, as we mentioned before. And we're going to go with just lighten to start, and we'll mask it in with a gradient using the masking bug, and drop it on here. And you can see that it's lightening outside of the bicycle to start. That's easy to fix. Hit the invert button. And make this more of an oblong or an oval. And yeah, the effect is way too strong right now. So I'm gonna pull back on the opacity. And let's reduce the highlights a little bit. Add some more contrast to that. Okay, so I'm pretty happy with that. I'm going to copy the mask. I'm going to add another tone enhancer. And this time, let's paste our mask, invert it, and we will hide that and choose darken shadows. Or wait, darken midtones? Where's the, I can't, shadow, midtone darker, there we go. Now let's turn this on and off. Yeah, that's really hiding the background here. And yeah, let's draw down the exposure just, now we'll put that back. Draw down the highlights a little bit. I'm thinking this might be a little bit blown out here. Just notice that. I'm gonna hit the J key. Yes, our sky is also blown out. So why don't we head back to develop for a second? Oh, highlights are already down. Let's go to local. And we will, where is it? Recover highlights. And let's just try a luminosity mask and hit the J key. And for the most part, that really recovered it. We can see that we've got a little bit of clipping in the blacks right here along the edges, but I'm fine with that. It's just on the edges, so it's not really going to affect the image that much. And yeah, you can see the sky, there's a little bit more detail in that sky now, which is nice. Okay, let's go back to effects and our tone enhancer, where we chose the shadows. Yeah, that's pretty good. This is looking nice. I like this, the fun squad. Okay, so I want to lighten up this dude here in the back just to add a little bit of secondary interest in the photo, but not enough that he's drawing you away from the main focus, which is the bicycle. Okay, so we shall put, oh, here, what was this one? This one was background darker, and then the other tone enhancer was subject, whoop, brighter. And we're going to add a third tone enhancer. I love that we can have multiple effects and stack them as we want. And we're going to call this secondary subject brighter. And let's open this up and we will reveal shadows. So shadows lighter. And time to mask. And once again, we're going to use the masking bug right on this guy here. And let's make it nice and small. More oblong, oops. And invert the mask. And we want a nice big feather so that the effect is pretty subtle. Let's pull that in more onto his face. Okay, now he's a little bit too bright, and so we're gonna reduce the opacity on this. I think that's pretty good. Yeah, there we go. So we can just see him a little bit better than before. And he draws our interest. He's looking right at the camera. I like this shot. So I'm going to create a snapshot. And we will call this, oh, hold on. Before I create the snapshot, I'm going to add another filter. We're going to use the border. And this is I use this border on my YouTube thumbnails. So which one was it? It's black rounded keyline. Yes, there we go. So I use the black rounded keyline on my YouTube thumbnails. So I'm just going to add that filter in there. I don't use it. I turn it off when I export to share on my website or Vero or Instagram. And speaking of that, if you like this video and this channel, be sure to follow me on Instagram or Vero and smash the subscribe button. All right, so I've added this filter or this border. I'm going to create a new snapshot. I'm going to call this color. And now I want to see how this looks in black and white based off of what we've already done. So we'll add a new filter, black and white. And actually, that does look pretty good. I like that. We don't need to really focus on the yellow. It still is an interesting photo. Not sure. You know what? I actually like the black and white a little bit more. Let's spend some time on this, and we'll try the different settings here. Chrome looks pretty good. Coffee, I often like coffee. Speaking of coffee, let's go to neutral. Neutral's fine. Inky. Yeah, I think neutral or chrome. Wait a second. What was coffee? I'm going to go with neutral. Yeah, let's go with neutral. And we'll turn this on and off and see if there's any colors that we want to play with. No, because the yellows are looking pretty good as it is. Let's just increase the brightness a little bit. Yeah, there we go. And shadows, let's pull up on the shadows. I think the shadows are got a little bit too dark when we went black and white. Okay. So yeah, there we go. It's the Fun Squad. Thank you for watching, and yeah, I'll see you in the next video.